Hello and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Justina, and if you're a returning viewer, welcome back and thank you for joining me today. So here today, I'm going to discuss the energies of the upcoming week, the week commencing on June 17th until the 23rd. So thank you very much for your votes. The other day, I posted a question about the weekly horoscopes, and it was like a more or less 50-50 whether people prefer the general horoscopes or all signs. So what I'm going to try this time around, I'm going to discuss the overview of the upcoming week, the energies resonating, the transits in the upcoming week. And I chose one aspect which influence I will discuss for each rising sign. And this time around, I chose the Sun square Neptune because overall the next week is under a strong influence of Neptune. All right, so let's explore what the upcoming week has in store for you, starting from the first aspect, and this is Mercury square Neptune. So here on the 17th, Mercury will square Neptune, and this January period indicates that there could be some challenges and confusion related to what Mercury stands for. So this would be, of course, communication, our mental thinking, our thinking overall, our decision-making process. So we really need to be really cautious of any potential misunderstandings, deception, or perhaps some unrealistic thinking, especially when it comes to verbal and written communication, business dealings, negotiations, any important documents you will be dealing with, because our mental processes are also affected, and this would include our perception of reality, our reasoning, our memory. So it's really important here on Monday 17th to approach communication with clarity. And it's essential to remember to distinguish the fantasy from reality. So communicate as clearly as you can. If something isn't clear, ask questions, because here this will help you to avoid any potential confusion, misunderstandings. Now, at the same time, also on the 17th, both Mercury and Venus will move into Cancer. And there is this shift of energy when Mercury and Venus move into Cancer, the energy connected to sensitivity, emotions, feelings, and overall, there we are going to have this massive shift of energy towards emotional security, comfort, family, and home related dynamics as well. So here when Mercury is in Cancer, this energy highlights the importance of security, comfort, connection in our interactions with others. And generally, Mercury in Cancer encourages us to communicate deeply in a caring and empathetic way and manner. So it's all about having this strong need to communicate your feelings, your emotions, how you're feeling, how you're doing on the emotional level. While Venus in Cancer, on the other hand, here we seek security and comfort in our relationships, and there is often a great emphasis on creating a warm and a supportive environment, energy, ambience in our romantic relationships, in our connections with others. And overall, Venus in Cancer gives us this nurturing and caring approach to love, to affection as well. So overall, Mercury and Venus entering Cancer on the 17th encourages us to communicate and connect with others in ways that are deep and caring and attuned to the feelings and needs of ourselves as well as of others. Now, as soon as Mercury and Venus enter Cancer, they will form a conjunction, and this energetical blend of energies promotes a really, really smooth and pleasant interaction, as well as that ability to express affection, love, appreciation in a charming, influential, and clear manner. Now, Mercury and Venus conjunction also enhances artistic and creative expression, making it a really good time for going out on dates, for socializing, for being creative. And overall, Mercury and Venus combination truly, truly encourages diplomacy, harmony, social grace, and a balanced approach to both intellectual and also emotional connections. Now, on June the 20th, the Sun will square Neptune, and then it will move into Cancer. But while it squares Neptune, this generally tense blend of energies can indicate potential challenges, but also opportunities for growth. Now, this transit generally indicates a time when we might feel confused or uncertain about our goals, our objectives, our direction in life. And some of us might struggle to see things clearly. And there could be also a tendency that we may develop during this time to idealize situations or people. Now, on a positive note, the Sun and Neptune square can also encourage spiritual growth and empathy, compassion. And it's really essential to stay grounded, present in the reality, and avoid making major decisions based purely on illusions or wishful thinking or some unrealistic expectations you may have. Now, also on the 20th, we've got the Sun moving into Cancer. So as soon as the Sun finishes the square with Neptune, there's this shift of energy towards heightened need for security, comfort, deeper connections with others as well, family, home. It's really important to us during Cancer season with a strong emphasis upon home, family matters, sentimental expressions of love as well. So overall, Sun entering Cancer really encourages us to take a deeper look at our home situation, family dynamics. So you might find yourself being more sentimental than usual. This is a great time for reconnecting with family, for finding more comfort, security in the home sphere, in the emotional sphere as well. And if there is some kind of instability in the home area in the family dynamics, and here during Cancer season is a great time for dedicating some time and energy in order to bring more comfort, harmony, and balance into the domestic area of life. Now, on June the 21st, 22nd, we've got a Capricorn full moon happening at 1 degree, the first out of the two full moons in Capricorn during June and July period. Now, this full moon brings a profound energy that truly encourages introspection, evaluation also of our closest relationships. This is a time to generally assess the balance between our personal ambitions, goals, aspirations, and the needs of those we truly care about. And under the disciplined, ambitious, determined influence of Capricorn, we may find ourselves setting new boundaries, structures, redefining the structures within our relationships to ensure that they support our long-term objectives, goals. And this week, I released a video about the full moon in Capricorn. So if you want to find out how this full moon will influence your zodiac sign, then you can find the link to the video in the description box down below this video. Now, on the 21st, we've got a beautiful energy. Mars and Mercury combine energies by a sextile, and giving us this ability to express our thoughts, ideas with more ease, more confidence. So we regain the mental clarity, drive, ability to communicate effectively, clearly, something that we may have lacked in the last week or so with so many planets squaring Neptune. So lots of perhaps confusion or lack of clarity that could have been in place is going to dissolve gradually as this aspect happens. So Mercury and Mars sextile is great for finally gaining the clarity that you may have lacked in the recent past. This is a great time for setting new goals, objectives, for generally making decisions, especially if you feel like you've been lost, confused, and it was difficult to be grounded, to make concrete decisions, to create a plan for your next goal, project, objective. Here, Mars and Mercury sextile gives us this amazing opportunity, like a forward momentum here when we regain the clarity, the mental clarity that could have been affected in the very recent past. So now let's see what the Sun and square Neptune aspect means for us individually. I will look at each rising sign. You can also watch it for your moon sign or your sun sign if you wish, just to get a bigger picture. And thank you very much, and let's begin. Hello, Aries, and welcome. So here, the Sun and square Neptune, which will occur on the 20th of June, will affect your area of communication. So we've got the Sun transit in your third house, squaring your 12th house Neptune. So here, what you have to pay attention to during this day is you need to communicate as clearly and as openly as you can. If something isn't clear, if you feel uncertain about a specific situation in your life or any letter, email you may receive, ask questions. Especially since things might not be fully exposed, clear, understandable. And if this is the case, then don't take action unless you're fully clear, you've got this full clarity about where is it that you stand, especially here, paperwork, documents, contracts. Now, if you will be writing any tests or attempting any tests, make sure you have a good sleep, you're well rested, because here there could be also that mental confusion and you might be in two minds regarding a certain question. If this is the case, give yourself some time, don't rush. So it's all about being present, grounded, and ask for asking question. If something isn't clear, then just double check. Now, since the sun also rules your fifth house, here there could be a certain cloudiness, confusion that you might experience, or perhaps creative blockages. So you have to be patient with yourself during this time, because the Neptune squaring the ruler of your fifth house could bring that mental cloudiness. Maybe it could slow down your process. It could be maybe difficult to be precise, or that attention to detail could be also affected. So it's all about being patient with yourself. Maybe dedicate some more extra time just in case to a specific objective goal you will be working on during this time. Here, there is a tendency also with the fifth house ruler being affected by that Neptunian energy to idealize a certain situation connected to your romantic side of life or children. So if you experience any kind of confusion, delusion in this area of life, so try not to make any important decisions during this day. Take a step-by-step approach and stay as grounded and present in the reality as you can. All right, so thank you very much. Now, Taurus, this is happening in your second house. So the transiting sun is in your second house, and it will aspect the 11th house, Neptune. And this can bring potential challenges or maybe confusion to your financial matters, anything to do with personal values. So you have to be cautious of any unrealistic or unclear financial decisions you want to make around this time. There's a possibility for misunderstandings within your social circle or any groups that you belong to. Now, also pay attention to any scammers or any deceptive influences, someone trying to persuade you. If something is too good to be true, then it probably is. Now, at the same time, the sun rules over your fourth house. And here with Neptune squaring the fourth house ruler, this could also affect anything to do with your domestic life situation, home situation, your inner emotional security. So there could be a certain degree of uncertainty happening, perhaps misunderstandings or that inability to meet halfway with a family member, or uncertainty surrounded around your perception of home, family matters, that can generally lead to potential confusion, illusion. So it's really important here to be as clear and as possible around this time. Be mindful of potential deceptive influences that could be taking place. And if you have to make an important decision connected to your finances, to your financial area of life, your home situation, then perhaps delay it a day or so after these energies have calmed down and kind of dissolved, so that it will be easier to think clearly and to make better decision that could impact your life in a positive sense in the long term. Thank you, Taurus. Now, Geminis, this is happening in your first house. The sun will be in your first house, squaring Neptune and Pisces in your 10th house. And this generally suggests that there could be a potential illusion or confusion related to your personal identity, self-expression, or your career-related matters. And generally, this aspect could also indicate potential confusion or illusion surrounding your personal goals, objectives, or perhaps any professional goals that you may have set for yourself. So here, try to avoid making any important career-related decisions. There's a tendency to be unrealistic or to have too high expectation expectations of yourself. So here during this time, you might be also easily externally influenced. So pay attention to who you surround yourself with during this time so that you're not negatively influenced, but at the same time, this isn't a good time for making any drastic, big life decisions or career-related decisions, because you might be into minds, or perhaps you might become excited about a certain goal idea, but the next day you might realize that actually it's not going to work out. So take it easy, stay grounded in the reality, and write things down if needed, but perhaps avoid making any potential big decisions, especially connected to your personal objectives, goals, professional life. Perhaps delay them a day or so. Now, at the same time, the sun rules over your third house. So this can also mean that there could be a certain degree of confusion or misunderstandings that could come up with your siblings, perhaps with someone from your community. So here again, clear communication. If something isn't clear, then ask questions, find out what and why, what's going on, because at this point, clarity, transparency, it's really important to navigate these energies in order to avoid any potential misunderstandings. All right, so thank you very much, Gemini. Now let's have a look at Cancer. So Cancers, for you, this is happening in your 12th house. The Sun is in the 12th house, squaring Neptune in Pisces in the 9th house. And this can over early indicative time of potential confusion related to your purpose, to any potential travel you've been thinking to take, for example, or perhaps anything to do with your private life, hidden aspects of your life. And there could be also potential confusion that you might experience temporarily connected to your life philosophy, your life principles, your educational aspirations. So, and overall, this transit can make you potentially redefine your goals, objectives, the direction you want to take. It's not a good day for making any drastic decisions, but with Neptune squaring your sun here, I think your intuition could be heightened. And this could be an interesting day when you might have some bright ideas that could potentially change your perspective of reality moving forward. And perhaps this could also prompt you moving forward, perhaps to redefine your life philosophy or your belief system, for example. Now, at the same time, the sun rules over your second house, and this can also mean that there could be a certain degree of confusion, delusion, or perhaps some unrealistic expectations that you may have regarding the financial area of your life. So avoid making any financial decisions during this time, because this transit could potentially bring up illusion and clear perceptions of your reality. Be mindful of your spendings during this day, because sometimes when the second house ruler is squared by Neptune, we desire objects that we don't really need, but at the time we become really obsessed with them. So it's also something to keep in mind of this sort of tendency. All right, so let's have a look at Leos now. Leos, this transit will be happening in your 11th house. So the sun will be in your 11th house, squaring Neptune in Pisces in your 8th house. And this can generally signify a period when there could be a potential confusion related to your social groups, anything to do with your friendships, groups that you belong to, but also long-term goals and hopes and plans. So you need to be cautious of any potential misunderstandings around this time, of having unrealistic expectations of others, especially when it comes to group surroundings, friendships. So here overall, it's important to approach teamwork, networking, your involvement with other people during this time with openness, with transparency, with clarity. And be mindful of any potential deceptive influences, external influences that could negatively influence you around this time. Now, the sun rules your first house, so your first house ruler is also affected. You might find this day slightly confusing. You might feel uncertain about your identity, self-expression, maybe your personal goals, personal objectives. Generally, this transit could potentially bring illusion or perhaps some unclear perceptions of reality or perceptions about your self-image and the direction you want to take or should take in your life. So here, it's another good day for making any big and major decisions. Stay as present as you can. Stay grounded, because this will help you to navigate this day with more confidence, with more assertiveness as well. If you need a minute or half an hour to just clear your mind, to take a break, then go for it, because you might really find it beneficial. Thank you very much. Now, Virgos, this transit is happening in your 10th house. So here the sun in the 10th house will square Neptune in Pisces in the 7th house. So here with the 10th house being activated, we know that here your career is highlighted, and overall, here, this transit can bring confusion, uncertainty when it comes to your career objectives, public image, your partnerships as well. And overall, this transit suggests the need to be cautious of any potential misunderstandings, unrealistic expectations, wishful thinking when it comes to your relationships, when it comes to your career. Under the influence of the Sun and square Neptune here, in your case scenario, there's also a potential for being unclear or uncertain about the direction, career direction you should take. So it's really essential to approach your professional life goals, objectives, your relationships as well with clarity, with transparency as well, and also be aware, be mindful of any negative external influences happening around this time. Now, the Sun rules over your 12th house, and with the Sun ruling over your 12th house, and Neptune squaring your 12th house ruler more specifically, you might also experience a certain degree of lack of clarity in the matters related to spirituality, or perhaps anything to do with boundaries during this time. So I think this is also about setting clear boundaries with other people in your everyday life, in your career life. Maybe there could be a situation that reminds you of how necessary it is to set clear boundaries with others, especially if you feel like this is something that you struggle with. Now, Libras, this transit is in your 9th house. The Sun is in your 9th house, squaring Neptune in Pisces in your 6th house. So here you could experience a potential illusion, confusion, lack of clarity related to your belief system, your life principles, your daily routine, daily work. Perhaps it could be difficult to be organized, stay organized, consistent around this day. Also, there's a potential for having that lack of clarity when it comes to your long-term goals, your long-term plans, your purpose. And here, if you have some important deadlines to reach on this day, make sure you're well rested. Make sure that you're not distracted, because it might be difficult to concentrate during some part of this day. Be mindful of any external influences of what you see or what you watch or read. You are likely to be pretty easily externally influenced during this day. Now, the Sun rules over your 11th house, and with the 11th house ruler being squared by Neptune in Pisces. Here, this could also mean a certain degree of uncertainty or lack of clarity regarding a connection in your life, a friendship, or perhaps your social circle, your belonging to a specific group, or perhaps this could be connected to your long-term goals, plans, wishes, hopes that you might find slightly unclear. Perhaps be mindful of having too high expectations of yourself, or some unrealistic dreams, goals at this point in your life. So it's all about being clear, present, transparent during this day, and grounded in the reality. Thank you very much. Now, Scorpios, for you, this transit will be happening in your 8th house. So we've got the Sun in the 8th house, and here we've got a square from Neptune in Pisces in your 5th house. And this could potentially indicate a period when there could be some confusion, challenges related to your intimate connections or your partnerships, shared and joint resources, but also that creative self-expression could be affected to a certain degree. So You need to be cautious during this time of any potential misunderstandings or perhaps idealization of your partnerships, relationships, financial goals, financial matters, financial investments, for example. Now, also try to be realistic and practical as much as you can during this time. It's very easy to set unrealistic goals, to have unrealistic expectations, and also be mindful of making any wrong financial decisions, because there's a potential for some deceptive influences taking place around this time. Now, the sun rules over your 10th house, the area of career, and with the 10th house ruler being squared by Neptune. This generally may suggest a certain degree of lack of clarity when it comes to your career direction, or confusion, uncertainty in matters related to your professional life, professional goals, life direction. And overall, this could also mean a certain degree of unclear perceptions of your professional goals, objectives, your public reputation. So here again, this is about being clear, transparent, realistic as you can, grounded, present in the reality, because this can really help you to navigate these energies with more strength, with more confidence. Sagittarius, so we've got 7th house activation here, where the sun is present, and the square from Neptune in Pisces is coming from the 4th house. And this can generally suggest a time of maybe a certain degree of lack of clarity you may experience in your domestic life, but also in your connections with others, with other people, one-to-one connections. So be mindful of any potential misunderstandings, or perhaps if something isn't clear, then double check why. Ask questions, don't make any assumptions. Because during this time, you might have unrealistic expectations or unrealistic hopes regarding your connections, relationships with others. Now, the sun rules over your 9th house. And with the 9th house ruler, the sun being squared by Neptune in Pisces, this could mean that you might temporarily experience confusion, uncertainty surrounded around your life direction, belief system, life principles. Generally, this transit could bring some really interesting realizations that could potentially make you redefine your life philosophy. But at the same time, be mindful of any unclear perceptions of reality that you may have around this time. And I think it's all about being present in the reality. But at the same time, I think that this transit could prompt you to take a closer look at your belief system, your life principles. And I think that if you're not clear about your purpose, then maybe following this square, you'll want to engage in activities, do some research in order to clarify your life direction, your life path moving forward. Capricorns, this transit is happening in your 6th house, and the sun in the 6th will square Neptune in Pisces in the 3rd house. This can generally mean that you might experience a certain degree of confusion, delusion, lack of clarity when it comes to your daily life, communication, your work, for example. So here you'll have to be careful of any potential misunderstandings you might there might be in your with your work, with your coworkers. Perhaps during this day, you might have to dedicate extra time to a specific task, specific goals. Perhaps you might have to change plans. And I think it's all about being adaptable, flexible, because your plans may change, your routine might change. Maybe following this square, you might implement changes into how your daily life is structured. If there is any instability, disharmony, if things are just not working out, then this transit might bring it to light, and it might stimulate you eventually, potentially to implement the necessary changes to bring more flexibility in your daily life, for example. But at the same time, be mindful of any potential deceptive, negative influences that that there might be around this time. Be realistic, as realistic as you can, because there's a tendency towards wishful thinking, or perhaps setting unrealistic goals or having unrealistic expectations from your coworkers or people from your everyday environment, for instance. So here during this day, communicate as clearly as you can in order to avoid any misunderstandings. Now, at the same time, the sun rules over your 8th house. And here with the eighth house ruler, the sun in your case scenario, being squared by Neptune in Pisces. This generally indicates that there could be a certain degree of confusion, illusion, uncertainty surrounded there around shared resources, around your intimate life, or maybe there is a need for that deep transformation in your life, but at this point you don't know what you want to change. But this transit could actually stimulate something within you, and perhaps following this square, you might actually want to take action and change something in your life that will help you to reinvent yourself in some way on a deeper level. But at the same time here, it's not a good day for making any major financial decisions, investments, because here the eighth house is the area of investments as well, with Neptune squaring the sun. It could mean that you might have unrealistic hopes, desires around this time. So just be mindful of these energies. Thank you very much. Aquarius, this is happening in your fifth house, with the sun in the fifth house squaring Neptune in Pisces in the second house. So this generally day, 20th of June, could bring some confusion or challenges related to self-expression, creativity, or maybe even your financial area of life. And this aspect could also bring potential misunderstandings or perhaps mental confusion, even creative blockages. So you might want to dedicate a little bit extra time just in case to a specific goal, idea you are working on. Maybe this transit will also make you think about your inner confidence, how confident you are within your own profession, within your own environment. So at this point, it could be realizations that could help you to maybe implement the necessary steps to find the inner strength, the inner confidence to express yourself more confidently, more authentically. If you think that you're not being your true or authentic self because there is something or someone blocking that ability, or perhaps there are some unhealed feelings, emotions from the past, then here these sorts of tendencies, energies, thoughts could come up, show up, and maybe you could find that inner lion inside of you to move away from those old beliefs and negative beliefs that you may have about yourself, of any blockages that stop that ability to be your authentic true self. So this could be also that, but at the same time, be mindful of having any unrealistic expectations of yourself or too high expectations as well. Now, at the same time, Neptune will square the ruler of your seventh house. The sun rules your seventh house. And this could also bring potential confusion when it comes to any partnerships you may be involved in, or your relationship, one-to-one connections. And if you're going to be signing any documents during this coming week, Wednesday wouldn't be a good day for doing so, because you might be in two minds. And if you are, then perhaps this isn't the right decision to make. Or perhaps generally Neptune could overcloud your judgment. So take it easy and perhaps delay signing anything important for a day or so that you can regain that clarity. Write things down, see pros and cons. If something is too good to be true, then it probably is. Ask questions if you need more guidance, if you need more clarity. Pisces. Now, Pisces, for you, this transit is happening in your fourth house. The sun is in the fourth house, squaring Neptune in Pisces in your first house. So here you might experience a certain degree of confusion or lack of clarity when it comes to your home life, to your emotional security, to your personal identity as well. So here, this is a good time to take a closer look at your domestic life situation. If there is some kind of instability, disharmony, it might show up during this time. And then following this transit, you might want to make the necessary steps, necessary changes to bring improvement, to bring more harmony, especially since Jupiter is now here. And Jupiter is in the initial phase of its journey in Gemini, and it can help you to reach some goals that could generally make you feel more free, that could help you to spread your wings, and that could also allow you to find more space or more spacious surroundings here, because that's often the case when Jupiter is in our fourth house. We want more space, more freedom. Now, at the same time, the Sun rules over your sixth house, and the sixth house ruler being squared by Neptune, this could also bring uncertainty or confusion, delays when it comes to your work environment, but also your health, well-being. And so be mindful of any misunderstandings, communicate as clearly as you can. Double check the emails, messages that you send around this time as well. Now, here, if you're going to be having any important health checkups, appointments, there could be some kind of cloudiness, uncertainty, lack of clarity. With Neptune, sometimes it's better to seek guidance from two different individuals. At the same time here, I think it's also a day to prepare for things maybe not going the way you have planned. So stay flexible and adaptable, open-minded, just go with the flow as per that Piscean energy. Because this will generally help you to navigate the day with more ease, more flexibility as well, and without feeling disappointed that things didn't go the way you have hoped. I think the goal is not to have too high expectations. Thank you very much. All right, so we reached the final sign for this forecast. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good week, and until the next time, bye for now.